Hey, what's up, JPEGs, and welcome to my review for M3GAN, aka Model 3 Generative Android. There will be heavy spoilers for M3GAN, so if you haven't seen it yet, you have been warned. So I've seen this movie being mentioned online, I've seen advertisements, I've seen trailers, and to be honest, at first I wasn't really interested, but I found out that James Wan and Akela are the ones that wrote it, and they did Malignant a couple of years ago, which I really enjoyed. When I found out about that, I went from not really being interested in M3GAN to I need to see this as soon as possible. Like Malignant, I think that M3GAN achieves its campy tone through its combination of horror and comedy and self-awareness, and I don't think that the self-awareness is being used to put the audience down. I don't think that it's being used to put other movies down or the horror genre down. I think that this movie, like any James Wan movie, has a great deal of respect for the horror genre, but he plays into those tropes and expectations and has a sense of humor about it because I think that it engages the audience more, and I think that the movie becomes more fun and entertaining because of it. I think as far as the horror elements go, M3GAN is quite well done. It does a good job at building the tension. It delivers jump scares that feel earned, which a lot of horror movies just don't do. But compared to something like *Malignant*, which to me was absolutely terrifying at points, I wanted to cover my eyes and just sink into my chair and disappear, M3GAN didn't really make me feel quite as scared, but I still think it's very well done in those regards. But M3GAN was definitely a lot more over the top and on the nose with its humor than *Malignant* was. The M3GAN robot was very sassy. There's that image, partway through the movie where she walks into the front door and she slowly takes off her sunglasses, and it's just, the whole theater laughed when that happened. Obviously, the dance scene towards the end is just over the top and absurd and ridiculous, and I think that was really going for laughs. On top of being a horror and a comedy movie, I think that M3GAN is actually a fairly effective family drama. I really felt Katie's loneliness after her parents died. I think that the young actor did a really good job at kind of capturing the isolation and the emptiness and the detachment that you can feel after, suffering a big loss. And I think that the way that she connects to the M3GAN doll also felt very real and very grounded. And the film even directly references attachment theory, which is that young children need at least one primary caregiver in order for, a normal social and emotional development to occur. But I think the movie actually does a really good job at making you feel for Katie and making you connect with her. And you never blame her for getting too connected or emotionally attached to this doll because she's homeschooled, she doesn't see other kids, she doesn't see Gemma, who's always busy with work, and so the only human-like thing that she's interacting with is M3GAN. After her parents died, this is the only thing that's listening to her and that she's building experiences with, and to her, that's helping her cope with those, that loss. James Wan said that this movie is about embracing technology too much. And while M3GAN is certainly critical of technology, I don't think that it's ever technophobic. I think that the movie actually recognizes the benefits and potential of technology as a positive force in our everyday life. But what I think it's critically examining is when we become over-dependent and over-reliant on it, where it starts replacing things that don't need replacing. For example, parenting children. The movie makes a point to say parenting children isn't just a task, it's a bonding experience. We see that when M3GAN is teaching Katie to wash her hands and flush the toilet and all of that stuff. Those are moments where a parent and a child can have a relationship and build that experience together. Because if not then when? At the end of the movie, we get an expected payoff when Katie takes control of Bruce, who's a much less developed robot, and uses him to rip M3GAN in half. I think that there's actually a really cool thematic difference between Bruce and M3GAN. Bruce requires a user to put on gloves and to control him in order to operate, whereas M3GAN operates independently. So in a way, Bruce represents the responsible use of technology because he relies on us in order to function, whereas M3GAN represents an over-dependence on technology because we end up depending on her to function. I think that the film is also warning of technology, or AI, that is always watching and always listening. At the end of the movie, we see the digital home assistant Elsie turn to watch Katie and Gemma. So story-wise, I think they're saying M3GAN uploaded herself into Elsie, but thematically, I think that they're drawing parallels between M3GAN and the technology that a lot of people have in their homes today. And I don't think that Wan and Cooper are arguing against AI as a whole. I think that they're just arguing about responsibility. I had a great time with this movie. If you liked Malignant, I really think that you'll like this. I'm gonna give this movie a score of 8 out of 10. If you liked my review, consider subscribing, or you can check out one of these videos, because they're probably pretty cool too.